Welcome to another episode of Around the Bonfire. I'm Mary, and I'd like to spend just a moment with you. Are you on any teams that are just a little dysfunctional? Pat Lencioni wrote an outstanding book called Five Dysfunctions of a Team. Any of these dysfunctions could be getting in the way of being a high-performing team. Does your team have trust issues? Difficulty having healthy conflict? Do they have problems with clarity around goals or accountability issues? If so, these could be hindering both your team's cohesiveness and or your ability to get results. Let's start at the very beginning. Team trust. Trust is the foundation of a high-performing team. Without trust, it is almost impossible to move on to the other healthy behaviors of a team. Healthy conflict, team commitment to goals, holding team members accountable, and ultimately getting sustainable results. Members of great teams trust each other on a fundamental emotional level, and they are comfortable being vulnerable with each other about their weaknesses and mistakes and failures. They get to a point where they can be completely open and honest with each other. This is slightly different than the common definition of trust, which is the ability to predict a person's behavior based on past experiences. For example, I'll trust you to do high quality work because you've done high quality work in the past. That's not the type of trust we're talking about here. The trust in this model requires vulnerability. It requires being real with each other. But vulnerability-based trust is rare because it's hard to achieve. The idea of putting ourselves at risk for the good of others is not natural and is often uncomfortable. In fact, it takes courage. As the queen of vulnerability, Brene Brown says, vulnerability is not weakness. It is our greatest measure of courage. To improve vulnerability-based trust, it's important we become comfortable with being exposed with each other, so we can honestly say things like, I was wrong, I made a mistake, I need help, I'm not sure, you're better at this than I am, and even I'm sorry. If we can speak these words when the situation calls for it, we'll be less likely to waste time and energy thinking about what we should say and wondering about everyone else's true intentions. So be brave, be vulnerable, and you'll be surprised how trust builds on your team. And with trust comes better relationships and better results. Thank you for spending just a moment with me, and thank you for joining me around the bonfire.